on dais and off the dais, all the invited guests. Good morning to all of you. First of all, I would like to congratulate WSRC and FGI for organizing such an interesting symposium. And for me, this is the 5th one in this year. So we were trying to, coming together, one of the speakers, Rosemary, I told her that this is last May, it started at Ludhiana, then BHU, then our own department, then Women's Day, and now this one on women. So she was asking me, is there anything special about women this year? I said, no, it is not this year. Women are there in everybody's mind all the time, and therefore this is. So for me, having worked in women's institutions all my life, studied the subjects considered exclusively for women, having taught girl students and women students, and conducting community programs and research mostly targeted to women, you can imagine how much I will have to share with you. So I was really wondering now, after speaking on 5 different diocese about women, now what to speak today. But the topic is so, different from the other previous 4 ones. So I just put down my thoughts. In 19th century poet, you all know, M.S.U. believed that women can change the world. He said, if ever the world sees a time when women shall come together purely and simply for the benefit and good of mankind, it will be a power such as the world has never known. There has been plenty written about the lack of women in leadership roles. We have read so much has been discussed. So it does not look like a new phenomenon. In our classrooms, in our seminars, in our discussions at various forums, we have discussed about it for a long time. Then we do find, as my previous speakers have pointed out, that despite women's recognition in political, economic and social equality with men during the 20th century, there is a continuing lack of women leaders to determine the political, economic and social progress of humanity. Women are largely absent from their senior positions in the national and international institutions that govern our lives. So then what is wrong? Why should we think about women and leadership? I'll just point out the reasons, will not discuss in detail. One is, as we all know, the number of women participating in workforce is increasing very fast. Their potential influence on the system of their organizations becomes more important. Thus, gender diversity is connected to the organizational success. Yet, the gap is not being bridged between men and women in the top levels of management. If women are functioning together and contributing to the growth of the organization, then why not women in leadership? What is our perception when we say women leaders are invisible? I feel that much of women's leadership over the centuries has been invisible because the question of leadership has been viewed through gender-biased lenses. The Secretary General of YWCA, Dr. Canyoro, says women are running the caring industry. The overriding assumption about what was important and where leadership was happening excluded places where women have always provided leadership. Women are leading in ensuring that families function well and have necessities for development. Women have always been making priorities, budget, action plans. They are constantly involved in making something happen. All these have been viewed as ordinary and domestic work performed in the private sphere that did not qualify for leadership. So, the first challenge is to make women's leadership visible. We need to eliminate the thinking that separates domestic life from public life. This is not to confine, I'm not thinking this to confine women to domesticity, but to appreciate that aspect in which their leadership is very visible for ages. Women's invisibility in leadership roles cannot be blamed on a lack of qualified women candidates. There are other barriers, we all know and we need not discuss them again and again, which have kept women out of administration or leading management positions, such as unequal ways women are socialized and gender roles that are enforced, the selection processes and the criteria as to if we take women, if we employ women, what all will happen and all those things. Workplace relationships, few executive women, few mentors and few women of similar interests, needs, issues and roles whom you can share all your issues. The other one is globalization, as we all know and I am observing amongst my young colleagues also. It requires time pressures, frequent travels, adoption of new cultures and social norms present a large barrier for many women with families, working spouse, children at the crucial levels of their studies. All these are barriers very well known. Many women lose their drive to excel due to many obstacles met along a path of becoming a leader. Discrimination, stereotyping, prejudices, family demands and lack of opportunities ahead put them off the aspirations to be a leader. Young women and girls' leadership, I think, is a key to recognizing, affirming and promoting the leadership of women and ensuring leadership succession. The first sign of success is when the women pioneers in leadership have space, voice to be visible on their own terms and to practice their leadership in positions which commensurate with their skills. Many researchers have concluded that although women have emerged in leadership roles, despite the glass ceiling, disparities still persist due to traditional gender stereotypes, inadequate mentors and workplace paradigms. As compared to the women in top executive positions, women entrepreneurs, we all know, in small businesses comprise the fastest growing group of business. So many times I have felt that we have been in this profession, for example me, for 35 years, and the woman entrepreneur, young, she has grown so fast, she has become a leader. She has her own voice and her choices and which she implements. So, what does it show? That they do not have glass ceilings in their own business enterprise and so they grow fast. We have examples of women spearheading change in every field, be it social, economical, political, medical, educational and so on. And studies have also shown that there are women there are benefits of women leadership also in relation to consensus building, job performance, advocating one's principles under political pressure, negotiating compromises and representing people's interests. Women do not have a problem developing an effective leadership style. This is what I feel. Organizations and institutions and public-private sectors have women leaders. But what they struggle with more than men is claiming the authority to lead. They may be leaders, but still they have to keep on claiming their authority to lead. Women need to become more aware of their gender issues so that they can reposition their behavior to develop a style that feels right and delivers effective goods. So what I feel is the time has come where we need to think more about what should be the strategy so that these women leaders become visible. Years ago, I started with my student a research on invisibility of women, and I had to drop it after 6 months because we simply could not move ahead in the study. We could hardly get any data, nothing. It was invisible, but why and what and all we wanted. So methodologies were also probably not established, and we had to drop the study. I feel that the traditional model of leadership, what we call command and control as a boss, leadership is becoming redundant because in the globalized, complex and dynamic world of today, one person cannot have all the answers. The newly emerging style is to be more influential, and women can easily score higher there. So what should we do? Visibility of women in leadership is not going to happen automatically in the system. We'll have to have some plan. So lastly, I would suggest that women's journey into workforce started later. So it will take resilience and commitment to bring about change, and it must be driven from the top. Secondly, organizations must do the internal audit continuously to be realistic and transparent about gender balance. Women's professional development needs should be targeted at both family and institution level so as to make the most of their institutional appointments. There is a need to strengthen representation of women at decision-making levels by adopting a quota policy or identifying the mechanisms for improving women's leadership in male-dominated roles, till it becomes visible in the form of equality in all spheres. To be a leader, women must think like leaders. It requires major shift in mindset of both men and women. All organizations should be certified by equal opportunity at workplace. Inspirational programs can be organized where women get together and discuss their issues of climbing the ladder. And lastly, I firmly believe that there is hope for gender equality and increase and visibility of women leadership. I think it is a matter of time only. Gender sensitization has started in all spheres of life. More and more opportunities are coming on the way for women. Their confidence building process is on and will strengthen as the time passes. I also feel that society will learn to appreciate leadership of women even on domestic front, and it will not remain restricted to their participation in workforce only. So there are many women ready and able and are at the threshold of becoming major partners in every kind of leadership. It's just a matter of preparing them. It is well said that one woman can change anything and many women can change everything. Thank you very much.